Greetings, everyone. This is Payman, the host of the Leaders What podcast. Today, it's a very, very, very special, not only episode, but a very special occasion because I'm here in Kuala Lumpur with my good friend and alumni of my podcast and academy, 3 weeks to launch a podcast, Maurizio. But we're doing it first time together in a studio. Here we found last week, 2 weeks ago actually, he told me, but hey, Lorenzo, I found a studio in person, let's check it out. So we went and checked it out last week and he said, you know what, let's do it. And here we are. Maurizio, buongiorno. Welcome to the show, brother.
Buongiorno, brother. Buongiorno. As Lorenzo said, we are very excited. Even though both of us, in a way, we have our own podcast. Lorenzo is powerful one through YouTube. Myself, I do IG Live mainly, but I'm about to launch a podcast as well. And it's a pleasure, really. I just wrote in my notebook, how grateful I am to share with experience with Lorenzo, with you guys watching it. And seeing how people in Kuala Lumpur, they're organizing these beautiful businesses that they really deserve all the best.
Thank you. Today I'm having a bottle of water, you're having a coffee. Next time let's do it, whiskey and cigars.
Oh, I love the idea. I don't know if they allowed us to have a cigar in here, but
and a whiskey. But we'll make it happen. We'll make it an offer they can't refuse,
I love it, by the way. I proceed for you.
No, that'll be more fun. So, listen, Maurizio, thank you for telling me about this beautiful studio. It looks very good. I love the sound. This is next level podcasting. I've done over 250 episodes myself on my podcast and YouTube channel, but doing it professionally with professional equipment, professional expert, and in the same room with the guest, that's a wonderful experience. And I'm very happy that I'm sharing this with you, brother.
Likewise. And I would like to share because I did join your academy. And I truly recommend it seriously because one of the highest values that I found in your academy is that you are able to really break down in such an easy manner the way that they can create their own podcast. And in my 30s, I was always paralyzed, by the overwhelmed by the amount of things that you have to do in order to build up a business. And thanks to you and other mentors, it's just amazing how you guys, and especially you are able to really break down all the actions and make it so easy for each and everyone, to have their own podcast.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it from the heart, and this is what I love to do. My podcast, academy, everything I do is to provide an opportunity, provide a platform. My motto is to help good people with powerful messages and beautiful hearts to win, and you're a beautiful example of that. I want to make people realize that their voice matters, their story matters, so they can share that. We all come here for a reason, not only to learn and grow and become a better person, but then take those gifts, take those stories, take those beautiful lessons and wisdom and share them with others. For me, it's through speaking. Others might be through writing, another to maybe music, drawing, sculpture, whatever it is. Find the way that works best for you and you're most comfortable, and go out and share your gift, share your story, because we all have our fair share of, challenges, pain point, tragedies. Sure, there's a lot when we go to them, but then they become our story. Then our story becomes our gift. Our gift becomes our duty and responsibility to share with others. And that's ultimately what we are here for, to take those gifts, share them with others so that we can all collectively benefit and rise. So this is what I do. It's the base of what I do, and podcasting has completely transformed my life, changed my life. And through that, now I want to empower and inspire others to do the same, to realize that, hey, their voice matters, their story matters. You don't need to be a world-class expert with 25 PhDs, with 1 million followers, to realize that, hey, I can go and share my story. No, even if you have none of that, because when I started, I had none of that. I don't have a PhD. I didn't have I'm not an expert, world-class expert in the field. I don't have any massive audience. Actually, I had no audience, but yet I had a burning passion, I had a story to share and connect people, empower people, inspire people. That's what I did. So to summarize, thank you, brother. Pleasure's all mine. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Lorenzo, and it's quite interesting what you said, because you said every one of us has some skills and have a kind of mission,
A story, a purpose,
a story,
voice.
A purpose. And I stop you there. So let's get from the purpose and mission and story a step backwards. So what I would like to share, I would like to discuss with you is that you were able to win your fears. You were able to get in touch with yourself, questioning yourself, as you always say, the power of questions, and understanding that your gift is the one to connect people, to give space to others to tell their stories. Fantastic. But let's try to support people that they are on a stage that they feel and they know that they can serve the community according to their skills, but they got plenty of fears on how to embrace their potential. So that's why I found fascinating mentorship, mentors and coaching. It's just to find the right one that resonate with us. But through mentorship and coaching, you can overcome the fears of I'm not enough. You can overcome the fears of I'm not a good podcaster, because you tell them, in your case as a podcaster, in your academy, you tell them what to do and which steps to follow. So let's say you meet someone, and that someone, let's say, is a Malay guy in KL. But you see, is a brilliant guy. He wants to serve the community, he wants to, showcase his business, but he's afraid to start a podcast. So in order to give him the self-confidence, how would you approach him?
I would approach him the same way I approach it myself. Because when I started, I didn't think I was ready myself because I was painfully shy. I thought my story didn't matter. Who am I to go inside a podcast? Who's going to listen to me? I'm not a celebrity. I do not have a PhD. I don't have 25,000, all of that. And I was always self-conscious because I always thought I had a big nose, no hair. I was self-conscious as well. So I said, you know what? Screw that. It's not about that. It's about the message. And we're all blessed with a tremendous, powerful message. Every single one of us, we're here for a reason. And that reason is not only to learn this lesson because this life is a school, but also take those lessons and share them with others in whatever way makes more sense for you. So this is what I tell them. Hey, listen, let me backtrack also. At the end of each class, I have a graduation party where I ask them, what was the number one reason holding you back? And for majority of people, the number one reason was holding them back from launching their podcast, but also what was holding me back. And that was, who am I to start a podcast? My story doesn't matter. Nobody's going to listen to me. I'm not an expert. I'm not a celebrity. And another big one, the fear of failing and the fear of, having imposter syndrome. Saying, I'm not good enough. And that's something we talked briefly on the way. But you know what? It doesn't matter. The fact that you made it this far in life, you've overcome some incredible challenges. You had to not only overcome challenge, but also become a much better person yourself on the way. And now is the time for you to share it. So again, even though you might feel that you're not ready, you are ready. Because sometimes we need someone else to look us in the eye and say, Maurizio, now is the time to shine. Now is the time for you to share your gifts, to share your wisdom, your beautiful lessons that you learned on your path. Even though what you learn, what you've been through has nothing to do in common with what I went or someone else went, it doesn't matter because the lessons are universal. But the most important thing is 90% of what's holding people back is for them to realize and accept that their voice matters, their story matters, that they matter. And that now and for them to accept and embrace fully all the challenges they went and overcame, not as a curse or not life being unfair to them or life punishing them, but as a way for them to grow, to become the wonderful person they are. And now take that to the next level, share it with others. So the main thing to do is for them to understand, accept, and realize that, hey, they matter, their story matters, their voice matters, and now it's their time to share it to whatever way, whether it's through writing, singing, music, composing, painting, whatever it is, gardening, find your way, and then go out and share your gift with the world. And that's actually also the title of my next book. What is your gift? And how did you realize what is your gift to share it with the world? So again, every single one of us, me, you, even Kurt here, our tech guy, he has a gift. His gift is to help us make this possible right here, to take care of the technical side. We all have a gift. And we as human beings, we make the mistake of not valuing our our gift, because for us, they're nothing special. We take him for granted. I can't tell you how many times, Maurizio, when I talk to people on my podcast, even before the podcast, when I do my meet and greet calls, these are people I met for the first time in my life. Even after 5-10 minutes of talking to them, say, wow, this is your gift. This is your zone of genius. Have you thought about leveraging that into sharing that gift with others, and then in the process turning it into a business? Say, wow, I never thought about it. It's because we don't value our gift. Just like in the classical, universal, eternal book, Le Petit Prince, Little Prince by Saint-Exupéry. What he wanted to achieve was happiness. He went around the world with happiness was already there in front of his nose, but he didn't value it because he took it for granted. Same thing for us. So again, my biggest role and all of that is make people understand what is their gift, identify their gift, and then make them realize and accept, hey, you matter, your voice matters, your story matters, and you're more than ready now to get it out, because everything happens for a reason at the right time. The fact that me and you connected at the time that you were open to know about podcasting, when you're ready for the next stage of your life, the right people, the right circumstances, the right conditions magically manifest in front of you. So when you start thinking about podcasting, that is the time for you. I mean, if podcasting is what you're talking about, that is the time for you to really take the leap of faith and go with it. So that's a long answer, but the short answer of it is, you matter, your voice matters, your story matters, and the fact that you made it this far, now that is a tremendously powerful, inspiring, empowering, even goosebump-inducing story for you to share with the world. Now go and, just like Nike says, go do it. Just do it.
Just do it. And I will summarize with empowering. And personally, just now, almost turning 46, I'm realizing that it's all about serving. And, especially when you are, according to the era of the world you've been born, or the education you received, or the kind of drive you have, we all, in certain stages of our life, chase the money. And I did, of course, and even found them, actually. But the cost of just chasing the money for the money itself was getting along a lot of weird energies, a lot of frustrations, a lot of sacrifice just on the sake of the money itself, which is a beautiful energy. But I was even neglecting a bit my health because it was just work. What I love, and you say that we summarize, is empowering. So it is having the courage to connect with ourselves. And I know it takes a lot of courage to quiet the mind and go and get deep, because in order to discover, to embrace, and to leverage our skills, it's not something that, somebody else can say, look, I can see in you this potential, but as long as we don't have the courage to embracing it, you can be the best mentor in the world, but if we are not ready to receive, it won't happen. So empowering at this stage in my life, it's all about getting your skills, getting the courage to leverage them, working on them, and truly asking whatever you believe in, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, how can I serve the community? And keep asking it. And as you said, the right people at the right time, they always show up. Could be a book, could be a YouTube video, could be just an experience that enlightens you, say, okay, I got it. That's the way that I can serve the community. And once we embrace that, believe it or not, all the money, all the finance or whatever you're looking for, they will come in the most beautiful, expected or unexpected way. And then you start to live a very beautiful, fulfilling, and loving life. That's the way I've seen it. And it's happening in my life too. And thank you, brother, because we met like 2 months ago, and you are part of this journey. Even thanks to you, I not just get the credit. And I would like just to close it up saying that it's important we do realize that Lorenzo Payman, Maurizio Rosini, we are just the outcome of our parents' education, our people that challenge us, our friends, our partners, and everybody that in a way or another has been guiding us consciously or unconsciously to be the person that we are, one in front of each other. So it's always important to get state of proudly the person we are without never ever forgiving the people that have been contributing to co-create the person we are right now.
Totally. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Remember we talked about that when I interviewed my podcast about 2-3 months ago. When we looked at the progression of every chapter of your life, if you put them on a board, at first they may seem completely unrelated and random. I went to this country. I went this. You went all over the map. When you put them together, it's like a linear progression. What you did at this age prepared you for next, and then the next, and next. Because in life, everything prepares. What you're doing right now prepares you for the next stage. What you did before was what prepared you, and other things you did before that prepared you for where you are. So you're exactly where you're meant to be. Nothing is random. You're Maurizio Rosini when you're here. It's because you're meant to be. So, and again, as one thing I want to say about that is, don't compare yourself to others. You might see, for example, other people that you grew up with, about same age as you, that maybe be more successful, better established career-wise. But do not compare yourself to them, because we all each on our own journey. Remember a while ago, we had a beautiful conversation on that, and the car, I said, look at the car around us. With lines, different lines. Each car is an own line. It's okay if you were driving, you go faster or leave. No, it's okay. We're all going to get there. But just imagine, these cars are not coming into each other's line. If they come, that's going to be trouble, accident. Same thing in life. You're on your own journey. Where you are is where you're meant to be. Don't compare yourself with others. And if you want to inspire others, don't force it on them, because they may not be. It's not that they're incapable. It's that they're not ready. It's not their time yet. When is their time, they will come. Just like the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher shows up. Same thing here. So that's powerful. And as far as your first point, which was serving is everything. And this is what changed my life. Before starting my podcast, before having my spiritual awakening, I was all about the money, especially living in Canada and North America. It's all about money. But then money was good, but it was very unfulfilling. It's always like a chase, like the hustle. Just typical hustle. But it's not fun. And then, now I turned the table around. I said, just like you said, what can I do to serve others? What can I do to help you? How can I help you? How can I serve you? When you base your business, your life, your mission, everything on serving others, on helping, on improving, on empowering, inspiring, magic happens. For me, the two most beautiful rewards of business, number one, is a transformation and impact I have in the lives of the people I work with. And number two, the beautiful and wonderful friendships I build in the process. The money is the icing on the cake. It's the byproduct, it's the result of the good you're doing out there. The money is not the cake. If you make money the cake, you might make money, but it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fulfilling. But if you turn it around, you build your business, your principle, your vision, your mission around helping, doing good, then magic happens. That's when you connect with truly amazing people. That's when your business becomes more fun. Like, for example,
Sure.
the guests I get on my podcast, they're not just a guest. The client I get on my podcast, they're not just a client. We become friends. We get on calls. Hey, how's your mother? How's your family? How's your father? It's true, lasting friendships. What is business? I keep saying all the time. It's not a numbers game. Numbers matter, but ultimately it's a relationship process. That's it.
And you know what I'd like to add about this, that if you watch, the biggest podcasters and mainly the guests are always, I would say as an average, more close to their 40s and 50s. If you see the demographic, I'm sure even the demographic of your subscribers or followers, I assume it's in their 40s.
Depends. Some of them are under, some of them are older. I've had guests from 19 to 80.
Followers, your subscribers, when you see the demographic, how old are they? People watching your podcast.
About the same age, I would say, in the mid 40s, I would say.
And you know why? Because think about Lorenzo. I mean, we are more or less, older than you, but in our 40s. What if somebody, when we were 17, 20, 25, was coming to us and giving us a mentorship, coaching, in terms of how to craft your life, and already planting a seed, it is possible to design your life. different areas, financial, romantic, spiritual, and I remember that when I was in my 17, 18, I was absolutely looking for a role model that my father, God bless him, he wasn't able to coach me in certain things because, of course, and I say this with respect, they come from a different generation, but right now, the guys of 15, 17, 20, due to the exposure that they do have through internet, some of them, and I talk to them, they are really quite aware about body spirituality without involving religion, but that there is a supreme energy that they can craft their life, the reality through positive thinking or through the way the inner talk they have. So the point is, how can we reach, even though we are in our 40s, would be great, I believe, to speak the same language of a 20, 25 years of age without playing the role of the dad, but just to say, hey, my brother, my sister, there are ways, no more woo-woo and hippie, but backed by science that you can really design your life. And thanks to Lorenzo, I'm about to launch my podcast in some time. I'm still thinking, will be just amazing to be able to communicate with again, between 20 to 30 people in order to have the next generation coming really powerful in terms of purpose and living a fulfilling and meaningful life.
Beautifully said. Absolutely. Just like you, the conversation that I wasn't able to have with my father, because again, he comes from a different generation, just like you said. He was a very loving, very caring father, but, communication was, especially when it comes to actual feelings, it was difficult to have this kind of conversation. And this is why I started my podcast because I wish there was a podcast like this when I was growing up to help me, to shorten my learning curve. Because when our parents tell us, or our teachers, our uncles, cousins tell us something, it's our nature as rebellious teenagers. So, you don't know anything. I know better than you. You're an old guy. You have no idea. I know best. But no, listen to that wisdom, experience. And this is why one of the reasons I have my podcast, to inspire, to guide others. So yes, beautiful point. And that's something that, as I said just earlier, share your gift, not only with others, but also with the younger generation. I love having this conversation with my younger cousins, younger people, because I wish there was someone to talk to me when I was their age.
Yes, dear Lorenzo, and I'll add one more point to yours, and it's even to develop what I love about podcasting, because you and me, we're very talkative. We are so enthusiastic about life. That's why we click together. We are so in love with life, but we tend, both of us, to over speak in terms of we want we want others to know as much as possible about ourselves. And I think a good exercise through podcasting and confronting ourselves with younger generation is actually to be able to, and I do that first, be able to go a good listener, because in order to grow sometime, it's much better to just shut up and listen to others. And I found it, especially here in Malaysia, it's happening quite often, that I have a good connection with younger generation and a good connection with elder than me. So you get a wisdom of somebody has been experiencing more before of you certain journeys, and the one that they are still in the enthusiastic way, but they carry them new technologies, new approach of life. So I believe it's important to be right in the middle of the two generations.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's all about, don't be cocky to feel that you have all the answers. That's the worst place to be. Always be a student of life. Always be, there's a saying that says, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Even like empire builders like Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford conglomerate, he said, in my team, I'm the dumbest person. Because I don't need to know all the things about the engineering, about the consumption of gas, about speed, about aerodynamic and all that. I don't need to know that. What I need to know is to have the right people that can know that and answer. I have all those people on speed dial. The great gift is to realize that, understand that, and then surround yourself with the people that can, coach you, inform you, inspire you. There's a saying that says you're the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. If you spend most of the time with 5, lazy and fat people, you will be the 6. If you're always with 5 broke guys who always spend playing video games and, God forbid, watching porn and eating pizza and all that, you will be the 6. But if you're with 5 people who always go to the gym, you will be fit like them. If you're with people who always starting businesses, growing things, you will say, hey, wow, these guys are not any superior than me. They just have more direction and discipline. And they focus on what truly matters. So again, know that there's a lot to learn, just like the eternal Socrates. The more I learn, the more I realize that I still know nothing. And then surround yourself with the people that's going to inspire you, that's going to elevate you, that's going to take you higher, not people that are going to keep you down. This is the key. You're the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. So be very careful who you allow to be with you.
Yes, Lorenzo, and I believe as humans we have, especially within men's, just for the credit, I'm facilitating a men's circle here in Kuala Lumpur since October last year. Within men's, as you know, Lorenzo, we got this tendency to think that the guy, the neighbor, which has maybe a big car or financially more stable or whatever, has all the things under control. The thing is, we are very well trained to use masks to not show our
To hide, yeah.
we are fragile and so it's important, as you said, to get involved with the team with your friendship, the people that surround you, that they are better than you, and at the same time just realize that in order to empower yourself, I keep saying that it is important that you get rid of all the distractions and just really spend time with yourself, being able to sit down or lie down and just be with yourself. We are so bombarded by so many distractions through social medias, Netflix, which is fine. Sometimes it's good to switch off the brain. But when it comes on a daily basis, that instead of really get connected with yourself and ask, how can I serve the community? What are my skills? What makes me happy? Instead of just following the flow. And even to be able to say no, to put
huge.
boundaries, that's a big one. I assume that all of us, we went through that, and being able to say no to something that you don't feel to do, but in order to please somebody else, for the fear of not being accepted, that one always takes you on a path that is you're wasting time. So just to recap, be with people, they are better than you. Try to mimic them. Try especially to find mentors that they are already doing what you love to do, and copy them. And then you will make your own way. And on the other side, find a way to connect yourself. Could be through praying, through meditation, through riding a horse, playing guitars, painting, but to get connected with yourself. And magically, you will not expect it, but then you will get the answers.
Absolutely beautifully said. Just want to say one thing. The people you surround us, they don't necessarily have to be better than you. They just need to be going toward the direction that you're going to aspiring to be. Because if all we did was just surround ourselves with people who are better than us, then it's going to be, so why should these people that are going somewhere accept someone that has nothing to offer to them? So put things from their perspective. But they want to be with people to inspire each other, to form like an accountability group, people that want to grow together. So this is what I've seen in successful, circles. This is important. And also, you mentioned about, I just had this very conversation this morning with one of my coaches, mindset coaches, and that was the power of saying no, because we do things just to please others, even though we know we should not do it. It's in our best interest, and maybe even in their interest not to do it, but we still do it because we don't want to offend them or upset them. I was having the exact conversation early this morning. And what the coach suggested, and this is something that I know myself, is it's okay to put yourself first. It doesn't mean that you're a selfish asshole. It means that for you to be the very best version of you, the most important person in your life is you. Be the best version you can be so you can be of value to others. If you're lazy, useless, but you're always trying to please others, you're going to be of no value. But if you are protective, selective of your time, what you do, what you allocate your time to, and what you do, then you can become your best version and you can help others. And also, if you say yes to everything, because you're going to be spread out so thinly, you're not going to achieve anything because you don't have focus. And I was having this conversation again. I have my podcast, my academy, I have my books, my publishing, and then a couple of other beautiful opportunities literally happen out of nowhere in front of me. Yes, I can make them happen. I can make money through them, but should I do it? No, because I don't want to be distracted. I was listening to a podcast last year from one of the founders of Lead Pages, which is $1 billion company that helps people build, funnels and websites. And the host asked him, so what is your secret that allowed you to take your business to $1 billion? He said the rules of the 5 1s. One business, one product, one customer, one traffic source, one offer, 1 year. Nothing else. So if we start with Facebook, focus on Facebook. Don't try to do Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and all that. No. Focus on one thing. You have one offer, one avatar, one client. Focus on the ones for 1 year. Until you master, until that reaches at the very minimum 6 figures or 7 figures, then you can, expand into other areas. But if you try at first to go onto YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, you're going to be nowhere. Because you're going to be too thin spread. Unless you have a massive team around you. But most of entrepreneurs starting out, they don't have that. They're just a one-man or one-woman show. So again, focus on one thing. One offer, one client, one traffic source, one product, one service, 1 year. Until you get that to minimum 6 figures or 7 figures. And then you can hire others to help you expand into others. So again, it's all about focus, focus, focus. And be selective of your time. Do what makes sense to you. This is why, billionaires, I love listening to their podcast, to their interviews. And they all see the same thing. For us, our time is the most precious asset we have. We spend more time saying no than saying yes. Saying no is an incredible value. Very valuable. Especially the more successful you become, the more valuable that becomes because more and more people want to get a hold of you, all of your time, and do stuff with you, pitch you. That's when you have to be very selective. Does that make sense for me? Is that aligned with my vision, where I'm going? Is that going to enhance my current business? Or is it going to distract me, even though it might bring me extra revenue in the short term? That's going to tamper with my growth in the long term. So again, choose you, focus on yourself, and the power of saying. Actually, there's a very powerful book. I forgot who wrote it, but it says, The Power of Saying No. Check it out.
Lorenzo, while you were, I was paying attention to what you were saying, but the thing is, I believe I did experience, I believe Kurt as well, and you as well, there are times in life that you are lying on the sofa, lying on bed, and you are going through a time that everything has no meaning. You are in the dark side of, and you can watch billion of YouTube's videos, you can talk to mentors, you can see movies, reading books, self-help, but everything, it seems empty to you. I will love, and I'm sure you will as well, to be in the position to reach through any kind of means, could be a podcast, a phone call, those guys and girls that they are right now, or when they're going to watch this interview, this podcast, they're going to understand, okay, beautiful word yours, but I'm depressed, I don't see any, how can I really start? What is the first action should I take in order to come up and start to love myself? That's what was coming up in my mind. And I know that you personally, you've been reading so many books. You just suggest me a couple of them, very interesting. And the same book that I bought when I started my inner journey 6 years ago, if I read it now, I can see meaning. But I remember very well when I was in my darkest time and I was reading these self-help books, and I was reading, you can change your life, miracles are possible. And I was reading them, trying to convince myself But deep down in my heart, say, these are just BS. Because I was so distracted by fears, by pain, that I couldn't see that. Now that we experience that it is really possible, we are so enthusiastic on saying that. So it would be amazing, maybe we can keep it for the next time, to find my brother tools, to give tools to, doesn't matter if they are younger, could be even in their 50s, but there are people who are going through a time in their life that they don't see the light, to tell them, look, my friend, even though now you don't see the light, but take this little step.
Leap of faith, yes.
Leap of faith, or I assume that everything, being in this physical world, everything could start if you're not able emotionally and mentally and spiritually to take care of yourself. But the first step, you can do it to start to connect with your physical body and start to take care of it.
Absolutely.
With a little walk, bit of exercise, and that could be just trigger up once you physically feel better. Of course, then the mind start to feel better, and then spiritually, that could be, I don't know, that's the first things come up in my mind.
I agree totally. I was watching a wonderful podcast yesterday by actually Andrew Tate, and interviewed by Patrick Bet David. And he was asking, what advice do you have for the 18-year-old guy that is listening to this and wants to improve his life? So he was asking, what advice do you have, especially in terms of fashion, because the guy is always super well dressed. He said, listen, I wear this. If me and someone else who's not in shape wears the same suit, I will look good because I'm in shape. The person who's fat is going to look like, doesn't matter even if they spend $100,000 on a suit, they're not going to look good. The first advice I give to these guys, to anyone, is take care of your body. Get in shape. Lose weight. Because when you do that, a lot of magical things happen. You feel good about yourself. You have more energy. You have more clarity. You have more energy, more vision. And that's when you start having more self-confidence, because when you look good, you feel good. You dress well, you look amazing. People treat you differently, respect you. You get more attention. You treat it better, whether it's other men or the ladies. Because again, it's not the clothes. It's not the clothes that make the man, but the man that make the clothes. Who's wearing it? I can put a beautiful suit on this, for example. I know it's an absurd example. I can put it on someone that is fit. It's different, same thing. So again, the number one thing is, I absolutely agree with you. Get in shape. Get out of the couch. Stop playing video games. God forbid, watching porn. It's called a silent killer, especially for men and especially for young boys. We can do an entire show, and that's something I'm very passionate to talk to you about. Talking about the tragic, impact of porn on boys and on men at all ages. So take care of yourself. Get in shape. Get out of the couch. Feed your mind. So you mentioned, what can we do to start? One of the greatest suggestions I received was, stop watching the news. Because the news always, make you upset on things you have no control over. It's always about fear, about danger, about bad news. When was the last time you saw something positive in the news? That doesn't happen. Because what sells is fear. So I completely cut off news 5 years ago. I have no idea what's going on. When people ask me, I said, I have no idea. No, I don't care. If something is important, you will hear about it. People around you will talk about it. So don't spend 10 hours a day, whatever, a week, glued to the news. That's number one. Number two, work out. Doesn't have to be at a full-blown gym and spend $1,000 a month. Just go for a walk. Do what you can. Even if you're overweight, 350 pounds, go 5 minutes. I will share an example with you that I might have shared before. 3 years ago, I was so out of shape. When I first came back from Hong Kong back to Canada, I was staying with family. One afternoon, I will never forget it, May of 2020, I was working out. I did 10 lousy push-ups. On the second floor in my room, I was like counting high, loudly in French. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As soon as I reached 10, I collapsed on the floor, and I was like, panting. I swear to you, 2 seconds later, my two sisters, my brother-in-law, rushed in the room and said, are you okay? Should we call 911? I said, no, I'm just working out. And when I say that, I've very rarely felt that humiliated, ashamed. Just for 10 push-ups, I was panting out. That was the moment that I said, none of that. The very next day, I started with very little. 3 series of 10 push-ups in the morning and in the evening. Only 10, which is anyone can do. And then the next week, I would add 5. So instead of doing 3 sets of 10, I would do 3 series of 15, and so on and so forth. That was in May of 2020. By October, I swear to you, I was doing 3 sets of 85 push-ups, morning, afternoon, and evening. But I stopped because I was not, training to become a UFC fighter. I was just doing it for myself. Now I can do, in the morning, 3 series of, I only do 1 series now of 111 push-ups. And again, start where you are. The power of consistency and slow increases.
The step-by-step thing is very important.
Yes.
As we all know, is the famous analysis by paralysis by analysis, that
Yes.
when you see in front of you so many things to do, and then for the sake of starting, then you get paralyzed.
Yes.
So the biggest revolution starts with a little step. I would say, for me, as you know, I've been into science and nutrition and working out, playing sports for the last 21 years now. And consistency, most of the people see it like, oh my gosh, you got a magic, you are disciplined. Consistency is actually something that you develop by time. Once you are able to reframe, most of the people, for example, let's get a simple example, going to the gym. They are surprised, oh, hey, Mauri, my gosh, you go 4 times to the gyms. How can you do that? It became for me a lifestyle. And in order to become a lifestyle, it's because I made a choice.
Habit.
So it's a habit. One of the best books that actually personally we suggest is The Obstacle is the Way, written by Ryan Holiday. It talks about Stoicism. Actually, it makes very easy to comprehend the philosophy of Stoicism. And it says, the only very things that we have in control is our choices. All the rest doesn't matter. So we can tell us so many excuses on a daily basis, but we can choose to be happy, we can choose to be angry, we can choose to be frustrated, we can choose to be mean, or we can choose to be in love with ourselves. We can choose to say, okay, as Lorenzo said, I might cannot afford to go to the gym, but you can go to the park. Okay, today I do 10 minutes walking with a good pace. Tomorrow maybe I make 12 minutes.
Exactly.
The day after tomorrow, 15. So, as you said, small little increasing, and you will be surprised how then they can become disciplined, and they can just not only learn that they can do whatever they want, but they're going to be in the position, and that's, I believe, that is the mission of every single human being, learn, metabolize the lessons, apply them, and then be in the condition to share to a friends, look, I was 120 kg, I did start step by step, and look at me, now I'm 75, I feel very good, It's the duty in life, to learn, metabolize, apply, and share.
Absolutely. Beautifully said. Powerful. Very well summarized. Again, take care of yourself. Start with your body, because the body is technically, we may move every few years to a different house, different apartment, different country. But the only permanent place you will be living is your body. That's your palace. That's your mansion. Take care of it. Because this is the only place you truly have that is yours, that nobody can take away from you. So take care of yourself, take care of your body, and the greatest thing you can do for yourself to increase everything, to get you out of a bad run, out of the depression or anything, is get more active, exercise, work out, and you will see anything you do after 21 consecutive days becomes a habit. That's why when I started walking out, doing my push-ups, I swear to you, after that, even when we had guests for dinner, I would say, please give me 5 minutes. I need to do my push-ups. And until I haven't done it, I wouldn't get on the table. It becomes a habit. You must do it. And it's not someone who's putting a gun to your face, because you feel you want to do it. So again, start slow. Do with whatever you have. If you can't go to the gym, hey, I'm sure in your house you have some bean cans of beans. Just use that as weight. Or even your chair. Or if you have kids, take your kids. When you go grocery store shopping with
From the hair, like this, they love it.
Yeah, grocery store shopping with the bags. Do with whatever you have. Start where you are. Don't wait for perfection to go to a state of the art, gym and all that. No. Just start where you are when you are. That's the first step. Take care of yourself. That's probably the biggest thing you can do.
The bigger revolution. And for me, I love to share this point. And coming from a Catholic background, was born and raised in Italy. They instill you this sense of guilt. If you take care of yourself, you are selfish. And actually, I was very touched by what you said, that it took me, honestly, and the amount of inner work I'm doing, but still sometimes I believe it's still there. If I take care of myself, am I selfish? How about the others? Actually, there is this kind of cliche examples, analogy says once you are in the plane and there is a problem, they say, you put yourself first, the mask, and then you help others. So it's the same point. So it's important to develop, in a certain degree, self-love in order to save yourself first without forgiving others, without forgiving any way that we live in a community. And our freedom ends where starts yours. And once we have that concept very clear in our mind, that you live in a beautiful way, because you are happy for your neighbors, for your friends, for your partners when they succeed in life. But in order to fulfill your purpose and have a meaningful life, you got to take care of yourself first. That's without doubt.
Absolutely, because regardless whether you're married, single, whatever, old, young, the most important person in your life is not your wife, it's not your son, it's not your mother, it's not your father, it's yourself. That's the only person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, all your life with. Become the very best version of you so you can be of a valuable asset and help to others. If you're not your best version, you're going to be lazy. You're going to be actually a liability. So again, taking care of yourself, putting yourself first doesn't mean that you're a selfish prick. No. It's actually you're very generous. You're very altruistic. Taking care of yourself first so you can be of the greatest service to others. And this is one of the most important points I'm trying to convey to everyone I talk to, whether it's my podcast, my guests, my students, anywhere. The most important person in your life is you. That doesn't mean that your mother, father, son, wife doesn't matter. Yes, they do matter. They're very special. But the most special person in your life is you. Because that's the only person you're going to spend all your life from the moment you come in this life until you leave. So become the best you can be so you can be of the greatest. You can honor these people. You can celebrate these people. You can, help these people in the highest way possible. So again, put yourself first. And that's something that even me, I've been struggling with. It's not been easy because just like you, I grew up in a different environment, but open-minded, Muslim one. I was born in Afghanistan, grew up in France, then Canada, then traveled around the world. But still, it's all about others. It's all about doing things for others. It's all about, you have to, in a way, sacrifice your wants and needs so others can be happy. And then when they're happy, then you can be happy too. No, it doesn't work that way. And real happiness comes from within, not from outside. So again, that's something I've been working on, and now I'm finally getting the hang of it. It's finally really understanding it and implementing it. It's one thing to understand, but implement it on an everyday basis in your life. So yes, that's very important. I'm glad that you brought that point up, because that is something that, again, we all need to understand and realize that you're the most important person in your life. Not your wife, not your mother, not your father. Again, they are tremendously important, but the most important is you.
Mm. So let's think for the next episode. Let's build up like a more clear strategy for people who are in a very dark time of their life on how to do the very first step, because that will be properly serving someone which is in need.
Absolutely. Great suggestion. We can definitely do that.
Okay, then we're almost closing up. So I got a quick question, Sir Lorenzo. What does it mean for you, greatness?
Greatness personally or greatness?
To embrace greatness in life.
For me, greatness is being able to help others live better, to help to make someone else regain belief in themselves, to inspire, to empower. To answer your question, for me, greatness is to be able to inspire and empower others, to embrace their gift, so that they can spread the wings, so to speak, and share their gift with others to inspire someone else. And this is what I did in my podcast. When I brought you my podcast, a guest and everyone, with you sharing your story, if you can inspire just one person to regain their belief in themselves, or to give them the kick in the butt, so to speak, to go and do good with their business and inspire others, and then that person goes on to inspire someone else and someone else, then we can create a ripple effect. So to answer your question, for me, greatness is to inspire and to empower others so that they can embrace the gifts and then spread the wings to share the gift with the world.
Wow, lovely mission.
Thank you.
Any other question from your side?
Well, I have so many other questions, but I guess we have to save that for the next episode. And thank you for inviting me here, and thank you for arranging this. It was beautiful, powerful, and this is definitely the start of something beautiful. I will be doing more of those episodes here.
It's a different flavor, isn't it?
Oh, it's much more fun. I've been watching to the Joe Rogan show, to Patrick Bet-David and other guys that I love to follow, and always wanted to do something like this myself. So
you see,
here it is.
Asking is given.
Exactly. Asking shall receive. Indeed. Grazie mille. Thank you very much. Until next time. Catch you next time. Oh, and if someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so, Maurizio?
Oh, thank you. So I would say I'm quite active on Instagram. Is at the.mauri, the Mauri. So the.mauri, the Mauri.
So we're going to put all your links in the show notes. So Maurizio, listen, I salute you. You're truly with a heart. Keep shining your light. Keep blessing the world. Keep blessing your world with your impact, your presence, with your smile, with everything you do, with your mission, your vision. Stay safe, stay awesome. God bless you, brother. We're definitely going to be talking soon. All right. Have a good one, guys. Cheers.
Ciao.
Ciao. Oh, wow.
Man, you are the king. Oh, Lorenzo, I love this.
Yeah, me too.